Hi there. Welcome. What can I do you for?
Are you Andy Jason?
That's me. How'd you know?
I'm Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Katie Firestone's. I saw your business card on her boat.
Nice to meet you, Nancy. Any friend of Katie's is a friend of mine.
So you consider yourself to be a friend of Katie's?
I like to think we're friends, or that we could be friends if she'd just be reasonable.
Maybe she just likes being in business for herself.
I'm offering her the deal of a lifetime. She'd make more money, she'd have more free time. I mean, look at this place. I run a first-class operation. It's my mission to see that everyone who comes to Snake Horse Harbor leaves with a greater appreciation for marine mammals. And if I make a buck in the process, that's cool too.
Why do you want to buy Katie out? She can't be taking that many customers away from you.
I don't like her taking any customers away from me. And frankly, with this whale doing its orphan thing out there, I'm losing a lot of customers to her.
Isn't the whale just as good for your business as it is for hers?
Katie convinced the fisheries service that she should be allowed to monitor the orca's condition, which means she can get right up next to the whale while my boat has to stay away.
Katie takes passengers with her when she checks on the whale?
Paying passengers, as many as she can safely fit.
What do you think should be done with the orca out there?
Nothing. I think people should just leave it alone. I mean, why do we humans always think we know best? We can barely deal with ourselves, let alone a whole other species.
Someone ransacked Katie's boat while she was in town this morning. Made a real mess.
Wonder if it's related to those burglaries.
This actually looked more like vandalism.
Maybe Katie came back before the thief could get around to stealing anything.
Did they arrest anyone in those other burglaries?
There was no sign of forced entry, no trace of who did it. Sheriff's still scratching his head.
Whoever ransacked Katie's boat tore a bunch of parts out of her engine. It's like they wanted to make sure she couldn't go anywhere for a while.
That's too bad.
Do you have any idea who would have done something like that?
Jenna Devlin. Runs the Hot Kettle Cafe. She was seething at the meeting last night. She doesn't think Katie should be allowed anywhere near that whale.
Do you really think Jenna's capable of tearing up an engine?
I was in the kettle once when this guy tried to sneak out without paying. Jenna was so mad and grabbed him so hard that he was the one who yelled for help.
Thanks for your time.
Whales rule!
Perfect. That's a beauty.
Miss, please don't touch that.
Looks like I need a key card to play.
Hi, Nancy.
That boat in a bottle you have is fascinating.
It was made by one of the first non-Native Americans to settle here, a guy named Benjamin Hawkins. I bought it from this lady who kinda went bonkers after her husband died.
Was Benjamin Hawkins a sailor?
This historian who was in here once said he was pretty sure that was a model of a pirate ship. So now I tell people Hawkins was a pirate. But like most of the settlers around here, he was probably just a farmer.
I'd like to play the games in your center, but it looks like I need some kind of key card.
Here you go. This will activate all the games. It will also keep track of what games you've won. And it'll let you play all the games as many times as you want.
Thanks for your time.
Have a good one.
That looks right. good. Yes! Correct. Am I smart or what? Very good. Perfect. That should do it. I have to bring him a male Dungeness crab? Yuck! I'm not picking them up. These would be great for rock skipping. Interesting. SS. Maybe this broke off from a ship. There's something in that bottle, but it's stuck on those rocks.
What do you think you're doing? Those signs over there say no trespassing, which means keep out, which means you, girlie.
Girly?
Leave.
But I just...
Now. You again?
I'm sorry for trespassing like that.
So what do you want?
I finished that seamanship quiz.
Let's have a look. Right as rain. Just bring me that male crab and you'll be home free.
I've got a male crab, I think.
Let's have a look. Right as rain. Congratulations. Here's your GPS. Just turn around and follow the instructions. I'll take care of the crab for you.
Great, thank you. See you around.
Yeah, whatever.
Hi, Nancy. How's it going?
I found a bottle floating in the water with a strange message inside.
Most, if not all, the notes you find in bottles around here were put there by Hilda Swenson. She was this lady who retired here with her husband about 20 years ago. They made a ton of money in Hollywood as writer-producers and just wanted to enjoy life. Wonderful people. Very active. In fact, Hilda was mayor for 8 years. But then, out of the blue, her husband died. They'd been a team for so long that, well, she pretty much died then too.
Did she move away?
She just kind of lost it. Started talking to walls and doing bizarre things until one day she rode to the island across the channel that she and her husband owned and never came back.
And now she uses notes in bottles to communicate with people?
Trouble is, nobody can understand what she's trying to say. All she ever writes is letters and numbers and that one word, Rosebud. I leave a couple of bags of groceries outside her cabin every week, and sometimes I can see her inside. But whenever I try to talk to her, she won't answer.
Did she ever leave anything behind that might help decode her messages?
She left everything behind. Problem is, it's all been sold, given away, or thrown out. We'll never know what's going on in that mind of hers.
It's been fun talking to you.
Yeah, hasn't it though? What's up?
Sounds like Holt Scotto was one of the people who didn't care for what you had to say last night.
He and I never see eye to eye. Now, if I were a fisherman, I'd be right as rain no matter what nonsense came out of my mouth. Fine harbor master he'd make.
I talked to Jenna Devlin when I was at the Hot Kettle.
What nasty rumor is she spreading about me today?
Do you two not like each other or something?
She doesn't like me, that's for sure. She thinks I'm a know-it-all from the big city.
I found this piece of wood on the beach. There's something strange about it.
What do you mean? Let's see it. Ouch, those splinters are sharp. That is odd. It looks like it's been in the water a long time, but if that were the case, those edges would be dull. That looks like it broke off of something just recently.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Any idea where it came from?
Could be off a cargo ship, I guess. But you know who you should ask? Casey Porterfield. He works at the Maritime Library in Port Townsend. You should give him a call. His number's 360-555-3095. He loves checking out stuff like this.
I saw a boat in a bottle at Andy Jason's place. He said it was made by a guy named Benjamin Hawkins.
As a matter of fact, I've done some research on Hawkins. He settled here in the mid-1800s, lived in a cabin where the lighthouse is now.
What else have you found out?
He apparently had a major feud going with some sea captain. Hawkins would see the guy's sail on the horizon, grab his family and all his valuables, and go into hiding for days.
What was the feud about?
Nobody knew. Rumor had it that the sea captain was an ex-pirate, which might explain why Hawkins hid. But where he hid is still a mystery.
See you in a bit.
Have fun.
One slice of wood. One glass slide. There. This is going to look so cool under the microscope. Let's have a look. Wow.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Katie Firestone suggested I give you a call.
Katie who?
Katie Firestone?
Never heard of her.
Oh.
I know a marine biologist named Katie Firestone.
Yes, that's her. I'm staying with her here in Snake Horse Harbor.
Oh, well then what can I do for you?
I found this odd piece of wood on the beach.
What's so odd about it?
It's a piece of plywood, and it looks like it's been in the water a long time. Yet one end of it has very sharp splinters, like it broke off from the ship just recently.
How do you know it came from a ship?
Because it says SS on it. The rest of the name is missing.
Doesn't mean anything. Now if it said SS, which stands for steamship, That'd be different.
Actually, that is what it says.
Oh, well then it came from a ship. Or should I say, shipwreck. What kind of wood is it?
I don't know. Old?
Sorry, for a second there, I thought you said old.
Actually, that is what I said.
You're about as much use as a beanie in a hurricane. Look, if you want me to tell you what shipwreck that wood came from, you're gonna have to tell me what kind of wood it is.
But I have no idea.
Well, you just get yourself a book on wood and figure it out. Maybe Katie has one. Soon as you do, call me back. I love checking out stuff like this.
Complex morphological issues? Microscopic tracheid analysis? Microtome surfacing? Oh, I don't know if this book is for me, but maybe if I give Dr. Predovicu a call, she can help me out.
This is Dr. Predovicu.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew, and I'd like some help identifying this piece of wood I found.
I'd be happy to assist. Do you have our mailing address?
Well, that's the problem. I don't have time to send it to you. Would it be possible to identify it over the phone?
Certainly. Just hold it up to the phone for a couple of seconds and I'll take a reading. I'm kidding, of course. I usually don't do this over the phone, but I'll give it a try. You will, however, need to take a look at your sample under a microscope.
I already did that.
And are you near the sample in case you need to refer back to it?
Yep, I'm right by it.
All right, we'll get started. Where did you find this wood?
It's a piece of driftwood, probably used for a crate.
Is the wood sample black, brown, or yellow?
Brownish.
Brown or brown reddish?
Brown reddish.
Does the sample have many holes, just a couple, or none at all?
Many.
And are there some holes that are big and some that are small, or are they all the same size?
They're all the same size.
Okay, and the holes are really, really tiny, right?
No, they're pretty sizable.
Then you've got a tropical hardwood. I was assuming the sample was a North American wood. All right. Are there any distinguishable horizontal lines on the sample?
Yes, there are horizontal lines.
If this wood is used for crating, then it's probably Luan. It's fairly common in plywood, but it's a rainforest timber, so it's declining in popularity.
Luan, all right. Thanks for your help.
Glad to have been of service.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I called before. About the driftwood?
Never heard of you. Now, if you'd have said Nancy Drew...
Yes, that's me, Nancy Drew, Katie Firestone's friend.
So what kind of wood are we talking about here, Nancy?
Luan.
Well, if that driftwood did come from a cargo container that's part of a shipwreck, there's a good chance I can figure out which one. Call me back in an hour or so.
You can identify a ship by what its cargo containers are made out of?
Ever since the hobo spider got into the U.S. by laying eggs in the wood crating of ships coming from Europe, the feds have made sure that cargo ships keep real careful records. Of course, I'll be taking things like tides, currents, weather conditions, proximity to Snake Horse Harbor. I'll be taking all those factors into consideration, too.
I really appreciate your doing this for me, Casey.
And well, you should.
Another message. channel marker. Katie said not to go past them. Maybe the messages are coordinates. I've never been to this beach before.